We're in Baltimore, so of course we have a nice combination of heat and humidity. No worries though, because it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the Orioles in the first game of a three-game set from Oriole Park at Camden Yards here in Baltimore, Maryland. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with David Cohn, I'm Michael Kay. Yankees won the final game of a three-game set in Toronto. They enjoyed an off day in Baltimore yesterday, but it wasn't total enjoyment because they got some bad news. Max Fried goes on the IL, placed on the 15-day IL with a left elbow bone bruise. We'll talk more about that once the game begins. Replacing him on the roster and on the mound tonight is Carlos Rodon. He had been on the IL with left elbow inflammation, and when he was active and he was healthy, he pitched very well, David.
Well, yes, he did, and he's right on time. You know, and I'm a big believer in not wasting bullets in the minor leagues. He showed enough stuff. He's strong enough. The Yankees have a need, so he's back. And when he's right, he's still got that death slider down and in that can bury right-handed hitters. More of a four-pitch pitcher now, but trying to get five and fly today.
We'll take a look at the numbers in 9 starts, 4-2, 3.30, and 46 in the third innings. He rang up 52 strikeouts, 26 walks, opponents at 195 against him. We had some redemption on Sunday. Ben Rice booted a ball in the ninth inning, allowing the Blue Jays to tie the score, forcing extra innings. And then this two-run home run in the 10th ended up giving the Yankees a margin of victory. When we come back, we'll see him in the top of the first. The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Amazon. Spend less on your kids for back to school. By the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. And by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. A couple of Hall of Famers. Cal Ripken Jr. and Derek Jeter. Patrolled shortstop here at Camden Yards. Well, the Orioles have played their way back into the playoff picture. Got off to a terrible start. They've been hot of late, and now the season ended right now. They'd be the third wild card, so they have aspirations to go even further. They have bounced back again after an awful start. Now the Yankees, well, their strength of their team has been their starting pitching, and David, now they have to absorb losing Max Fried.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Nobody saw that one coming. He looked so good since he came back. And we didn't know if Rodon was ready or not. He might have made one more start. Well, he's going to have to be ready now because they need him. And the early word on Max Fried that it's not as bad as we originally thought, that he threw a side session, that he probably will be back as opposed to miss the rest of the year.
Well, everybody was thinking because it was the same injury, he'd miss the same 10 weeks, which would take you to the World Series. But talking to Boone before the game, that is not the case whatsoever. They feel like they got it early. It was better not to push him. He was very willing to make the start tomorrow. They decided it's best to give him the 15-day IL and maybe miss 2 or 3 starts and go from there. And it'll be interesting to see what Rodon could do. Now, it does save either Weathers or Warren from going to the bullpen because it's an easy switch on the roster. Fried goes on the IL. Rodon goes on the active list and gets the start tonight. Well, you see the Orioles have taken the field to begin this 3-game series here in Baltimore. And we'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. Trent Grisham's been hot the last 11 games. You see the numbers, 5 home runs and 9 ribbies. Ben Rice with that big home run on Sunday. He's the DH, he'll bat second. Hitting third, playing left field, Elliot Ramos. Luis Garcia Jr. will clean up. Spencer Jones in right. Jazz Chisholm Jr. back in the starting lineup after sitting out the starting lineup on Sunday. He'll be at second base, he'll bat 6th. Batting 7th, the rookie shortstop, George Lombard Jr. Ryan McMahon at third base will bat 8th. And batting 9th and catching, it's going to be Austin Wells.
That lineup will face this young righty, 27-year-old Shane Baz, and you can see this will be his 25th start on the year. A 4-12 record, that's a little bit deceiving. We'll get a little more into that in our Nissan pitcher scout report. And curve, you know, Gucci Mane version, Michael, and that is his best pitch. He's got a 30% whiff rate when he throws that pitch, and harder than you think. You know, with that record we pointed to earlier, he's only had 2.20 run support since June 18th. That's the third lowest in the major leagues at that point. And heads Carolina and tails California. That's really, it's 50-50. It's either his fastball or that curveball. He does mix in a cutter here and there, but majority of his pitches are down to those two.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Boz, and it's brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Franklin, Tavares, and O'Neill left to right in the outfield. In the infield, Encarnacion Strand, Henderson, Holiday, and Mayo. Behind the plate, Carlos Narvaez. Remember, Adley Rutschman no longer here. He's in Boston. Pete Alonso's having a really good year after a rough April. He'll be the DH for the Orioles. And as David detailed, Shane Baz will get the start, 27 years old, 5th big league season. Will Little is the home plate umpire. Ryan Wills at first, Ryan Addington at second, and Jonathan Parra is the third base ump tonight. Let's take a look at Will Little. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Neutral, that's what he is. Will Little is considered neutral, so doesn't lean toward the hitter, doesn't lean toward the pitcher. All right, so we're about ready to go here in Baltimore. Second stop in the Yankees' two-city road trip. Trent Grisham is ready. Shane Baz is ready. And let's do it here in Baltimore. First pitch high, we're underway. Yesterday, the Rays beat the Orioles 7-6 to salvage the final game of a 4-game set. Orioles came that close to a 4-game sweep with the first-place Rays. The Red Sox trying to get back to winning ways. They were 11-1 over the Diamondbacks, and they are 3 games back in the loss column behind the Yankees, who own the first wild card. One and two. As I mentioned, the Orioles right now in the final wild card spot. There are 7 teams within 2 games of each other. It's a funky American League this year.
A little bit of a course correction, too, when you think about the first half to the second half with Boston and Baltimore.
One, two. Foul back. Still 1 and 2. Baz has not been that successful against the Yankees in his career. In 7 starts, an even 7.0 ERA, with the team hitting .287 against him. Grisham actually has 3 hits and 8 at-bats against the Orioles right-hander. Fouled away. Baz coming off a tough outing in Minnesota last Wednesday. Season-low 3 innings, giving up 9 hits and 5 earned runs, and that ties season highs for him. Swing and a miss. Got him on the knuckle curve, 1 away.
Well, it's his go-to pitch, and it's a good one. You can see the downer, the tilt to it. Looks like it's right down the middle and then just breaks almost straight down below the zone.
Who are you?
Ben Rice 1 for 13 in the series in Toronto, but that one was big after he made the error in the 9th. He answers with the 2-run home run in the 10th inning, and that provided the margin of victory in a 4-3 win. One and one.
And Michael, I spoke to him after that game and I asked him about getting redemption there and extras, and he wasn't really buying into it, telling me he wasn't thinking about it that way. So when you make a mistake or something happens, you have to shake it off immediately and focus on the task at hand. You can't think about what you perhaps did wrong in that situation. He was just happy that he was able to come through and help his team win.
I heard him say that, and it's hard to believe. After you make an error of that import, to not want to do it and erase it.
Agree with that, but that's what he said on the field, so we're going to have to choose to believe him.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Rice down on strikes.
Another look. I don't know if it's on the swing or the pitch, but either way, that's a strikeout. Pitch is right at the top of the zone.
This is Elliot Ramos. He has not had an RBI as a Yankee. He was 1 for 11 in the series in Toronto. The Yankees have now gone 16 straight games without scoring in the first inning. And you might say, was that a lot? Well, the team record is 24, set back in 1921. Let's see if they can rally right here and get one on the board. And right there, that stat, David, really amplifies the loss of Judge, because Judge could give you a lead with one swing.
It's a great point. If you look throughout the history of the game, the team that scores first has a pretty good winning record. Takes pressure off your pitching staff too. You give them an early lead, that's everything. Just speaking from experience, if I walk out to the mound and I've got a run or two to work with, well, my whole mentality changes.
Two and two on Ramos, and he's going to challenge.
The batter is challenging the pitch.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. It's a strike. The whole ball is in the strike zone. So not a great challenge whatsoever.
Good call. Good job.
We've had some great looks on the benches when hitters make challenges like that. The look on the manager's face tells you everything you need to know.
Three and two on Ramos with Garcia on deck. And the payoff. They'll do it again. And Ramos works a walk. So 1 on 2 outs. That'll bring up Luis Garcia Jr. Garcia with 24 home runs takes a pitch high, 1-0.
It was one of Mel Stoudemire's big pet peeves was 2-out walks. On the Yankee side, you can push bats here a little bit.
Fouled straight back here under our booth.
Now, you hear a lot of pitching coaches talk about leadoff walks, and that's obvious. But the 2-out walk, when you had your hands around a quick 1-2-3 inning, and now all of a sudden you got to work.
A little bit low. Looked like Narvaez wanted to challenge, but didn't. That would have been by a lace. Yep, it would have been a strike. Two and two on Garcia. Just underway, Yankees and the Orioles. Orioles played last night, as we mentioned, losing to the Rays in Tampa Bay. Yankees were off. Still 2-2, making Boz work. Boz came over in a December trade from the Tampa Bay Rays for 4 minor leaguers, and then Orioles quickly locked him up to a 5-year, $68 million extension that goes through 2030. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Boz. Another scoreless first inning for the Yankees, and the Orioles coming to bat. here in Baltimore, the warehouse behind the right field wall. A perfect frame for this beautiful ballpark. Carlos Rodon on the mound taking his warm-ups, and this is the Orioles starting lineup that he's going to face. Jackson Holliday leads off. The former Met DH Pete Alonso bats second. He has a 9-game hitting streak. Tyler O'Neill in right. Middle third of the order is Mayo, Henderson, and Encarnacion Strand. Then the bottom third, center fielder Leody Taveras, Christian Franklin in left, and the former Red Sox, former Yankee farmhand Carlos Narvaez behind the plate, and he'll bat ninth.
And here's the lefty, Carlos Rodon, towing the slab here at Camden Yards tonight. This will be his 10th start on the year. Been out for a bit. Let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report. And welcome back, May's version. I mean, that speaks for itself. All the way up, Fat Joe. Well, you know, he's supposed to make another rehab start, but obviously there's a need here now, and I'm in a hurry. That's why, because of Max Fried.
And Holliday takes pitch out of the zone, 1-0. They loved the way he looked in his last rehab start, and there was discussion, even if Fried wasn't hurt, whether or not he's going to make the start, but it kind of solved itself once Fried was put on the IL. Will Warren will go tomorrow night, and Garrett Cole in the finale on Thursday. Two and one. So Fried, since coming off the IL, had 5 starts, pitched to a 1.82 ERA. This is Rodon's first game since June 28th in the bigs. Remember, he started the season on the IL with off-season elbow surgery. Kind of had a new arm. You know, he didn't have much ability to bend the arm out to its full extension last year and still put together a really good season. Got it taken care of over the offseason. But there was inflammation, and they decided to put him on the IL. Three-two. Popped up. Long run for McMahon and Wells. Who's going to get it? Wells slides and makes the play. Terrific play by the catcher, Austin Wells. He went a long way.
Unbelievable play by Austin Wells. He had farther to go than McMahon. And in the web. And a beautiful kick slide. It's as good as it gets right there.
So here's Pete Alonso. Alonso signed with the Orioles during the offseason as a free agent. Started off slowly, though. 198 in April. Since May, though, hitting 290. And we mentioned he has a 9-game hitting streak, 18 for 34. During that time, that's 529 and an on-base percentage of 610. Numbers are right in line what he usually hits. 28 home runs, 81 runs batted in. One and two.
It took him a little while, but that's Pete Alonso again, doing what he always does.
Alonso DHing for the 3rd straight game. He had a scare on Saturday when the trainer came out to check out his right calf, but it was just cramping, but they're making sure and DHing him. He's actually always in the lineup, David. This is his 542nd consecutive game since June 18th of 2023, the 2nd longest active streak behind Matt Olson's 907.
Always in the lineup, and he always produces.
2-2. High fly ball, shallow right. Spencer Jones is there. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers, and we'll concentrate on the youngster, the rookie shortstop George Lombard Jr. He's our Car Shield defensive player profile. He already has 8 defensive runs saved this season. That's tied for 4th best among major league shortstops. The Yankees as a team have 21 defensive runs saved at shortstop. Caballero with 9, Lombard with 8, Volpe with 3, and McMahon has 1 at shortstop as well. Those pretty good numbers. David, to amplify the 8 defensive runs saved, he did that in 100 innings. So Taylor Walls, who's an outstanding shortstop, Tampa Bay Rays, has 16 defensive runs saved in 848 and 2/3 innings.
You know, for me, it's more about the eye test with Lombard. You know, the defensive metrics can be kind of noisy in small sample sizes, but as far as just looking the part, just with the eye test, wow, he's been fantastic. I don't need metrics to see what I see with my eyes, obviously.
3-1 on Tyler O'Neill. And the count is full. And there's a walk by O'Neill. And that's going to bring up Mayo, who had a long home run last night. We'll take a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum. 114.2 off the bat, and it traveled 468 feet at the trop. Impressive blast. And we also superimposed the wall here at Camden Yards, so it would have been out here as well. 468 is pretty much out everywhere.
Well, that's why he's always been a top prospect, and now he's finally kind of coming into showing what he's capable of.
Mayo hits one deep to center field. Grisham back. He's got room, and he puts it away in front of the track for the final out. Orioles strand 1. We'll go to the second. 0-0. Spencer Jones going to lead off the second inning. Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. If Spencer hits 1 or more home runs, it's good for plus 550. Jones 2 hits and 11 at bats in the 3-game set in Toronto. Fly ball left field. Franklin. 1 pitch, 1 out. How about the American League East, David? If the season ended, it'd be 3 wild cards out of the East, so 4 playoff teams out of the East.
This is a head-on collision waiting to happen. You know, it's either Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles. Somebody's going to meet in the playoffs. Somebody you didn't expect. The matchup you didn't think you were going to get. Now you're looking at getting.
It's not a great look that, you know, the team, the 3rd wild card, and everybody competing is under 500, but that's the state of the American League. And there's a strike to Jazz. Jazz has good numbers against Boz. 5 for 9. With a double and a home run. Jazz did not start Sunday. Came in as a pinch runner and did get a base hit late in the game.
I missed an opportunity with Boz. I should have used Boz Skaggs on my Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Yeah.
I missed one.
How would you have fit in Lido Shuffle?
Yes, Lido Shuffle. That's good. Good yacht rock music nowadays, right? That's yacht rock.
That's an interesting arm sleeve he has on. It seems like it's kind of puffy. Give him some protection. It's not just a normal arm sleeve.
Are you calling out fake guns there? Is that what you're doing?
I'm sure he's got guns, but it certainly looks amplified. And he's also gone back to his old way of wearing his pants. He's given up on the pants at the knees.
He does have like something underneath on his tricep. A little guard.
Swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout for Boz, and it's amazing how many strikeouts Jazz is ringing up this year.
And we talked about the curve with Boz, and he's got a good one. He's got it going tonight.
There's George Lombard Jr.
Boz coming off of his shortest start of the season. In his last one, only got through 3 innings, gave up 5 runs.
You know, we mentioned the strikeout for Jazz. That's number 141. That's an awful lot of strikeouts at this point in the season with only 17 home runs. One. Hit that twice. 1 and 2.
Yeah, you bring up an excellent point, Michael, especially when you have the speed that Jazz Chisholm has to be able to steal bases and manufacture runs.
One, 2. 2 and 2 on Lombard. 11 big league games for Lombard, an .817 OPS, a .270 batting average. Three and 2.
You know, aside from the production and the numbers you mentioned, it's just a lot of these type of at-bats. Very competitive. Sees a lot of pitches, knows the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out. 5 strikeouts for Boz over 2 innings. We go to the bottom of the second.
Welcome back. Yankees and Orioles are scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. In case you missed it earlier, Max Fried was placed on the injured list yesterday with a left elbow bone bruise. And speaking with pitching coach Matt Blake, he told me Fried originally felt it during his last outing, but he still did his side session and threw his bullpen. And while Fried felt like he could make his next start, he didn't think he would be 100%. That's when the Yankees evaluated it, the risk and the reward. And they felt like the risk just was too much to put Max Fried back out there, not being 100%, potentially compromising himself while he was on the mound. Now, guys, as you mentioned earlier, he has not stopped throwing, and he's expected to get off the mound later this week. But as we know, he is so important to this Yankees rotation, a guy that they are going to need down the stretch. Aaron Boone saying they do not feel like this is as severe as last time he went on the IL and needed 10 weeks to come back. They're extremely optimistic that he'll need the minimum 15 days on the IL and then be back in that rotation, Michael.
Well, that would be the best case scenario for sure. And he communicated to the Yankees he could start, but the velocity might not be what it was. And you know, Matt Blake didn't want to sit there and worry about he's at 95 now. He should be at 97. So they thought this was the better part of discretion and just put him on the IL. What does he miss? 2 or 3 starts? And then if you have a fully healthy pitcher for the run, you've won.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at the last 2 weeks of September and then game 2 of the playoffs for Max Fried. That's the plan. Yankees have plenty of depth. Obviously, Rodon coming back, but they also have Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, who's pitched very well in AAA recently. So they have enough starters to fill in the blanks for now.
And also some pretty good news. Luis Heel is back on the active roster in AAA, so he's going to be pitching as well. That gives him another option.
And Michael, I spoke to Matt Blake about that, and he said that Heel is going to be pitching out of the bullpen. Depending on how he does and the need up here, he could be an option in September and in the postseason.
Looks like Will Little, the home plate umpire, got something in his eye. Now he seems to be okay. There's a strike. David, did you know that Christian Encarnacion Strand has the longest first and last name combo in Major League history? 27 characters, including the hyphen, so he beats out Simeon Woods Richardson of the Blue Jays. Now, he took the Strand off his O's jersey, and that is part of his last name, Strand-Encarnacion, but maybe the size of the letters, it would have to go armpit to armpit.
You have to go under the letters with the Strand part.
Three and two.
Beautiful name, though.
It is. Kind of rolls off the tongue.
Christian Encarnacion. Say it for it.
So beautiful, hard to say. Encarnacion.
Encarnacion. Christian Encarnacion K.
3-2. And he works a walk against Rodon, who was aggravated with that pitch. Not the call, the pitch. So he's thrown 27 pitches, 14 of them strikes. It seems like he has some trouble with the pitch count. I think they might have to put the contract out for bid. There's a lot of problems with these pitch comps, more than there should be. And that slows down the game. So with a runner on first base, Leody Taveras will come up. Through April, had good numbers, has really dropped since then, hitting .210 since the beginning of May. .225 overall. And a strike.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Michael. We both talked to Preston Claiborne about the pitch comm and the bullpen guys and they warm up with their hats off so that he's got to put the pitch comm in their hat. There's only 5 of them out there for all the relievers.
Line to the center field. It's a base hit for Taveras. Encarnacion Strand will stop at second. First and second, one man out here on the bottom of the second.
Oh, this is square business right here. On the button, chuck and duck.
Here's Christian Franklin, made his major league debut on August 4th. And he might have hit into a double play, but he's booted by Jazz. Everybody's safe. That was an inning-ending double play. I think the runner in front of him might have distracted him.
Not sure if it was the umpire or the runner. The Jazz is upset. Kind of feels like he got blocked out a bit. Once again, the umpire's right in front of him. And then, yeah, that was the umpire all the way.
You're right.
You see Jazz is sort of upset. So that's something you can talk about to the umpire beforehand, before the play happens. Not sure if Jazz had time to do it, but you can see right there. If you ask the umpire, he'll move a little bit depending on where your defensive position is.
Read his lips. He said, get out of the way. Here's Narvaez. Swing and a miss. So that's an E4, no matter if it's Addison's fault or not. The blame goes to Jazz. Narvaez, since coming over to the Orioles, for 31. And when the Orioles traded Adley Rutschman to the Red Sox, they insisted on Narvaez because Basayo has missed 26 straight games with a right shoulder inflammation. So they needed a catcher, and the Red Sox were reluctant because they really liked him, but that was what stood between the deal happening and not.
That's why it takes a time to evaluate a trade, and certainly this is the most recent one. If you go back to when Narvaez was a Yankee, it was for Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, and at that time, his rookie year in Boston, it looked like a win for Boston, but too early to call. Might flip the script now.
Swing and a miss. Narvaez down on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Rodon, and he's out away from getting out of this.
Well, when in doubt, go to that slider. One of the best in the game for his whole career, that particular pitch.
And there's Jackson Holliday, big spot in this game. Bases loaded. And a strike. Dropped the slider in there. Popped up. McMahon runs out of room. So 0-2 on Jackson Holliday. And that's challenged right away by Wells. They were coming off the field. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if the challenge is right. If it is, inning's over. Inning's over. So Rodon picks up Jazz Chisholm Jr.'s error. They strand three. We'll go to the fourth. The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Got even better when Earl joined the Knicks. And they're the two Iron Men of baseball history.
Pretty good there. Two Sugar Rays in there.
Well, Jazz Chisholm and Ryan Addison, the second base umpire, had a conversation after the inning was over. Said I couldn't see.
I guarantee you, Addison's telling him right there, just tell me, I'll move for you. You know, beforehand. Tell the umpire, he'll move. Maybe it happened too quick for Jazz to make an adjustment. All the umpires will move. They're very accommodating in that situation.
I mean, they'll move if a batter says they're in the line of sight. So
yes,
they would certainly move if they're in front of a fielder. 8-9-1 in the Yankees order against Boz, who has 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. Yankees have 1 base runner, a walk to Ramos, and there's a strike to Ryan McMahon. And as you've always said, David, it was up to Rodon to pick up his teammate, and he did.
In a big way. And Austin Wells, again, showing his defensive skills, not only with a great catch in the first inning, a great call right there to get his pitcher out of a bases-loaded jam.
Hit the other way, and it is a foul ball. Play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. McMahon's at plus 600. The guy on deck, Austin Wells, plus 500. McMahon was 1 for 8 against the Blue Jays. You look up and down this order. So many bad series for the Yankees, and they lost the first 2 games because they just couldn't score. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Boz, his 6th.
And another knuckle curve. Perfectly located. Talked about Boz and his 30% whiff rate on when he throws that knuckle curve. It's his best pitch to put away hitters.
There's Austin Wells. Oh and 1. Last 21 games, Wells is closer to the batter Yankees think he is. 14 for 48. That's 292.
Narvaez is a little gun shy back there to challenge. He's double hitching, thinking about it. That's the key to that rule. You got to be decisive now.
1 and 2 on Wells.
Requires so much more of the catchers now. The catchers have to process all the data, all the information and scout reports. Now they have this extra burden of having to make the challenge calls. It's almost like you really got to anticipate the flow of the game and know beforehand. Is this a situation I can do it? How many outs? How many pitches do my pitcher have? It's never been harder to be a big league catcher than it is today. What's expected of them?
Popped up, shallow left center. Tavares there to make the play. Well, let's see what you see from Boz pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Well, I see a kid that came out ready to go. He had the shortest start of the season in his last start. And he came fired up and ready to go. Established his fastball. Knuckle curve has been devastating. Those 6 strikeouts, maybe 1 on a changeup here and there. But for the most part, he's gotten a position to get count leverage and use that knuckle curve to finish.
Trent Grisham with 2 outs. He struck out in the first inning, takes a strike here in the 3rd. Drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Looks like it went to Utah Street. A long home run for Grisham. The Yankees are on the board. It's 1-0.
Good time to heat up. If you're Trent Grisham and if you're the Yankees.
Ben Rice takes the ball.
Change up right there. That's what you call speeding up a bat. That allows him to get the bat head out in front, get it in the air, and bye-bye.
Did that get to Utah on a fly or it bounced? Well, we're told that it went there on a fly. That's the second time he's reached Utah Street, which is a street that runs in front of the warehouse. And some love for the bench coach, Brad Ausmus.
And Michael, you mentioned that's the second time he has reached Eutaw Street as a Yankee. The last time, April 29th, 2025, a 412-foot leadoff blast onto Eutaw Street. And in the clubhouse, the visitors' clubhouse, they have pictures of all the plaques out there on Eutaw Street, but they didn't put them out for that home run yet. So there's just a picture with an X with NYY and TG on it, waiting for that plaque to be put up at Eutaw Street. As we know, our buddy Paul O'Neill has a plaque out there.
The best part about the Paul O'Neill plaque is when they finally put it out there, they spelled his name wrong.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, one L.
That's great. Well, what a cool thing. You have a plaque on Eutaw Street.
2-2. Popped up. Gunnar Henderson will make the play. And that'll do it. But the Yankees get on the board, and they get on the board in a loud way. Trent Grisham's been so hot of late, and he stays hot with another home run. Much needed. Yankees on the board. They lead 1-0. Now it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Antonia, who enjoyed her time at a Yankees game recently. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. We might. Pete Alonso leads off, and he takes a strike from Carlos Rodon. 1-0 Yanks on the Grisham home run. A lot of Yankee fans on hand. That's always been the case here at Camden Yards. For a while, it was like Yankee Stadium South.
We had some long games back in the 90s against these guys. 4.5 hours were the norm. One thing about the Yankee hitters, they always love coming here. They loved hitting here. A little different configuration in left field. It's been modified a couple of times over the last few years, but O'Neill, Tino, everybody loved coming here and hitting.
I've told this story before. The first time they came here, the year it opened, I believe it was '92, and they were coming out of the dugout on the third base side, and I happened to be sitting in the dugout. Mattingly came out of the clubhouse and was walking up the steps and looked at it and goes, "Oh yeah." Hitters love this place, especially left-handed hitters. As Alonso goes down on strikes, and in the old days, righty hitters liked it too.
Sometimes a high slider works. Kind of fooled Alonso there.
Pitch up and away. 1-0 on O'Neill. So Meredith, did they give you any clue today how long Rodon could go pitch count was?
Well, his last rehab start, he threw 54 pitches, and typically, Michael, they only like to push him maybe about 10 more, but because it is his first major league start, they will certainly consider the intensity of which he has to pitch throughout the game. It's also hot here in Baltimore, so I'd expect him to probably not throw much past 60.
Yeah, okay. 2-2.
Stuff is good. 96 miles an hour there, right on by, and his slider's been Rodon slider. When he's got his good slider, he's going to finish some hitters.
He finished O'Neill. So 4 strikeouts in a row for Rodon.
Just high quality. I mean, that thing was down the middle, and it ended up almost a half a foot inside. So the downward and horizontal movement on it, it's just exceptional.
Here's Kobe Mayo with a fly ball to center in the first. So Rodon already at 48. Take a look at the longest home runs this year, brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. So Fernando Tatis Jr. at 474. Baldwin 1 foot behind. Then Kurtz and Mayo. And that's the home run he hit in Tampa that we showed you before. Driven deep to left field. Fair ball, it's gone. Gone. Another long home run. And the game is tied at 1. '17th home run for Mayo. Game tied. Here's Gunnar Henderson.
Another look, and I just talked about how good his slider is. But Mayo's hot, and that one just didn't quite get down and in. And it got cut off. Yeah, Mayo's a big, strong hitter, isn't he? Wow. Uses his leverage. Drops the helmet.
He gave that one a ride. Left field, Ramos comes in and puts it away to retire Henderson. But the home run by Grisham and the home run by Mayo. They have 3 outs, 1-1. Well, the ultimate goal of an MLB fan, seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. Yes, all 30. Go to MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps. Elliot Ramos fouls back the first pitch of the 4th inning. It's 0-1. It's a 1-1 game. Couple of home runs. Mayo for the Orioles and Grisham for the Yankees. Line foul. Between innings, Rodon will talk with the pitching coach, Matt Blake. Looks like there's some stirring in the Yankee bullpen. Up and away. Other than the home run to Grisham, Boz has looked good with 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. Strike 3.
Well, 97 miles an hour on the black at the knees. It's a pretty good choice.
Here is Luis Garcia Jr. One and one. Garcia struck out in the first, and now 1 and 2 here in the 4th.
Keep looking at the clock, Michael. It's, the 6:30 start. It threw me off all day. I like it.
And the 1-2. Fouled away.
What's the latest start time you ever had as a broadcaster? It used to be 7:35 at one point.
And as a kid, it used to be 8.
8.
Yeah,
8 o'clock.
It used to be 8 o'clock at Yankee Stadium. Two and two. Boz deals. Fly ball left field. Franklin. And 2 outs here in the 4th. So on May 4th against Boz, the Yankees had a 6-run game. Last August against the Yankees, gave up a career high 5 home runs to the Yankees. But today looks pretty strong. So last season was not a great one for Boz, 4.87 ERA, but he made every start in his first full season coming back from Tommy John surgery. And after returning from Tommy John surgery, he said that he had a newfound gratitude for his career. I'm sure a lot of pitchers feel that way because it's taken away from you for almost 2 years. What you do, what you love to do, what is your job, and all of a sudden you have it back. So the count 1-2 on Jones. 2 outs here in the 4th, 1-1 game. You see Boz works exclusively out of the stretch. Says it simplifies everything. Strike 3. And Jones is going to challenge. The Yankees have just 1 challenge left, so the ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And again, a ball that got a lot of the plate. And the Yankees are out of challenges in the 4th inning as they go down in order. 1, 2, 3. 8 strikeouts in 4 innings for Boz. Well, fans, download the Gotham Sports app to get live games, highlights, features, podcasts, and much more. And if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Gotham Sports app for free. So download and sign in today. Encarnacion Strand leads off against Rodon. Pitch upstairs. I don't think that teams have really gotten a true grip on when and where to challenge. So even if you feel as if you're wronged, that one's grounded and grabbed by Lombard. Fires to first. He made it look easy. That wasn't an easy play.
Well, factor in the range. You get there, and a little bit of a stumble, and you still have the arm strength to get it there in the air. A little bit of a stutter step there. That's all arm. God-given talent. Even he can't believe it.
Anyway, get back to the challenges. I don't think you should be without a challenge after the 4th inning. I mean, there are big calls that are coming up in a close game. All the games the Yankees play because of the lack of scoring close, and to lose your challenges, and both of the challenges they lost, David, almost the entire ball was in the strike zone. You can't waste a challenge like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to find a balance, all major league managers, and we've heard Aaron Boone say, you know, we want our guys to be aggressive, we want them to be confident, but at the same time, there has to be an anticipation of the flow of the game, to your point. When's the right time to use it? When's not? How many do we have left? Does this call matter right now? There's still a big learning curve going on across the league on how to implement this new rule.
And of course, David, the call mattered to Jones. You know, it's either a strikeout or he still is up at the plate. So, but still, you got to factor in it's the 4th inning, and the Yankees are out of challenges now. 1-2 on Taveras. Two and two. De Los Santos warming up for the Yankees in the pen.
You know, Tamara to this point, pitch number 60, about to be delivered here with 1 out in the 4th.
Fly ball shallow right, coming on Jones. He's there. 2 outs.
Well, we know about his range. And we've seen the arm strength, but that is just a little stutter step and just all arm.
Well, cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. We told you about his defensive run saved in 12 games, 8. 102 games. Walls doubles that. What will he be at 102 games? And that won't be till next year. And the thing I've always heard, David, he was ready to play shortstop at this level last year as a 20-year-old. It was the hitting that they felt needed to catch up with the defense. You know this guy at the plate?
Yes.
Went to the same high school as you.
I'm a little embarrassed. I didn't know that, Michael.
Rockhurst.
Troy Benjamin let me know beforehand. I'd certainly heard his name, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Now, they probably had a baseball program when he went there. They didn't with you, right?
No, I helped him build a field. But, yes, there was no baseball team in the early 80s at that high school. He was a big-time prospect and a great player there. Went to Arkansas. But, yes, thanks to Troy Benjamin for cluing me in. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm a professional broadcaster, Michael. I do my homework.
1-2. Did he go? Nope. So they're pushing Rodon here to at least 65 pitches. And you're a big proponent of it. If you said it before, you don't want to waste these pitches in the minors and rehab.
Not if you're ready to go and there's a need on the big league side, and clearly there was here. I made 2 rehab starts coming back from my aneurysm after 4 months off, and then through that game in Oakland, coming back.
High fly ball, deep center. Grisham back, still back on the track. He makes the play for the final out. So Rodon with 4 innings off the IL, giving up just 1 run. We go to the 5th. It's time for tonight's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of New York Yankees. Cody Bellinger going to start his rehab assignment Thursday. Aaron Judge is introduced to hitting progression this week. He's actually swinging a pool, we hear. Giancarlo Stanton running program intensity increased. Clark Schmidt through a side session today. Slowly but surely. Jazz Chisholm starts off the 5th inning, and he hits one deep to left center. Taveras on the run. And he's going to make the play in front of the track. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, 4 innings and Rodon is done in his first start off the IL. He gets congratulations. And he gives them 66 pitches, probably more than I thought they were going to give him.
Yes. Pitched out of a bases loaded jam after an error behind him. His stuff was sharp. He looked good.
There's George Lombard Jr. 1-0.
We hear a new medical term every year, don't we? What was the Aaron Judge description? Introduce
him to hitting progression.
To a hitting progression? That's a new one.
Yeah. Ground ball right side and past a lunging Holiday. So a base hit for George Lombard Jr.
Just seems like every game he does something on both ends that just helps the team. Just a plus player. Well, I guess that's what you call a winning player, right? Because he does a lot of things to help you win ball games. Inside out, like a former shortstop used to do a lot.
You know, Mike Vaccaro, the columnist for the Post, had an interesting column in today's paper saying that there's been enough of a separation now that Lombard does not have to live up to be the next Derek Jeter. Derek has not played for a long time. He could just be himself. But he also mentioned that if there's anybody that could do it, he seems like he has the mindset that he could follow a great player.
Those are great points.
Because following a great player is tough. I mean, Tino followed Mattingly. That first month and a half was very difficult for Tino. I thought that Didi Gregorius did a great job following Jeter. Didn't seem like it bothered him at all.
Of course, you know, a good friend of yours too, and Jack Curry. But when Mike Vaccaro says something or writes something, it's worth reading. It's worth listening to.
So since we're being nice to him, maybe we make a Sunday column now?
Campaigning?
Yeah, why not?
Do we have another injury report coming? Because that screen didn't have enough room to fit all the names.
Tell you what, the Yankee organization probably thinks it's too big of a screen right now. Three and two. Three pretty good pitchers right there. Lots riding on how they deal the rest of the year. Still 3-2 on McMahon. Garrett will start on Thursday. Slitler will see the Blue Jays again over the weekend at the stadium.
Michael, you mentioned Garrett Cole. It's pretty wild when you think about it. This Yankees starting staff has been so good all season long, and they haven't been completely whole and healthy at the same time. When I asked him about Max Fried going on the IL today, he said it's part of the game. It happens. You never want to see it, but you still have to look at it as glass half full. You're getting a three-time All-Star back in Carlos Rodon. We're fortunate as a team that that's the case. We have a guy of that quality coming back this time. We're optimistic. Max is going to be back soon. Now it's up to the rest of us to continue to go out there and put in work and do our jobs.
A walk issued to McMahon, so first and second, one out. That'll bring up Wells. Yankees probably quite aware because the rotating out-of-town scoreboard in right field shows that the Blue Jays have a 6-0 lead over Tampa Bay. That game in Tampa Bay. So the Yankees 6 games back. It's still, I think, so important, David, to avoid that wild card series. So you can sit back, let teams battle it out. You win the East, then you have your best 3 starters set to go in the second round.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think all year long people have underestimated the Rays. They were over their skis. They're not as good as their record, and they just keep on winning.
Pretty good AL East. Pretty stout. One and one. Lombard off second. McMahon's off first. 1-1 game, top of the 5th. First game of this 3-game set. Fouled straight back here. I'm predicting, David, that in this 3-game set we're going to get a foul ball into this booth.
That one was, yeah, that was right below us. And it comes in hot. Might have to knock it down. Knock it down, throw him out, Michael.
Tell me how that works. I'll be ducking. Popped up. Mayo puts it away. 2 down. There's Trent Grisham. We'll take a look at his home run, the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay.
Hello, Utah Street.
So 2 down. That'll bring up Grisham again. Strikeout in the first. The home run is 17th in the third.
Catcher's challenging the pitch.
So that was called the ball, and Narvaez will have the ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And he was wrong. So they have 1 challenge remaining. The Yankees don't have any.
He second-guessed himself a couple times already in the first 4 innings, and then pulls the trigger and pulled it at the wrong time.
High fly ball, left center field. Franklin puts it away, and Boz works into and out of trouble. It is time to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevision, made for your brain. So this is considered an 8, 220, 62 home runs, 230 ribbies. A long time with the O's at the beginning, then the Cubs, the O's again, then the Yankees for a couple of years, and finished with the O's. You have this one, David?
No.
Yerry De Los Santos will take over for Carlos Rodon off the IL. He goes 4 innings, 66 pitches, gave up the home run to Mayo. That is it. Looked pretty good for his first time out. So De Los Santos will face 9-1-2 in the Orioles order. Grounded right to Jazz. Got a nice hop. 1 down, 1 pitch, 1 out. Addington nowhere to be seen. He was on the outfield grass. There's Jackson Holiday.
Basically, the 1-2 punch you see from De Los Santos is that sinker changeup. Occasional slider, but his bread and butter, ground balls.
See, if I'm De Los Santos, this kind of assignment scares me. Because if he gives you the 3 innings that you want, he's not any good for you. Line to left field. Ramos makes the play for probably 2 or 3 days, and usually when that happens, you get sent down to AAA, get a fresh arm up.
The dreaded shuttle.
Yep. So here's Alonso.
Pete Alonso is a Dire Straits fan. They have it on the scoreboard here. Money for Nothing. Must be one of his walk-up songs.
Well, they gave him the money for 28 home runs and 81 runs batted in. Yeah, it's not for nothing.
That's something. There it is. Dire Straits. One of the great MTV videos, the early days of MTV.
1-2. Seemed like the Mets wouldn't give him money for nothing.
Exactly.
2-2. Still 2-2.
Remember when Brian Cashman talked about hairy back sluggers? That's Alonso, right? Old school slugger. I don't know if he has hair on his back or not, but it's an expression.
Grounded through for a base hit. 2-out single for Alonso, so he extends his hitting streak to 9 straight.
Post up every day. Swings the bat every day. Think the Mets miss him?
This year for sure. This year for sure. And the one thing that really has to get their attention, he's a plus defender this year too. And that was always a concern. He's improved his defense.
And has worked extremely hard to do so. Very proud.
Line drive and right at McMahon, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, and 1 man left on base. We played 5 here in Baltimore. It's a 1-1 game. The league, walk-off home run for Pete Crow Armstrong, having a great year. Shohei Ohtani, a great night at the Rockies, and Marte placed on the restricted list for the Diamondbacks. He's going to undergo an MRI on his knee. And very emotional Torey Lovullo yesterday, who really likes Marte a lot. And last year the same kind of thing happened, and now we find out today he thought that they knew that he was getting an MRI on his knee. Rice grounds to second. 1 pitch, 1 out. David, sometimes I feel I have to check your ID, because I got up, I couldn't sleep that well. I got up and left my room about 9:03 to go to the gym. And there you were walking, we're on the same floor, and I know that you go into your room and you probably had gone downstairs. And the David Cohn that I covered would have been just getting home then. Things have changed, David.
Well, there's always a side story.
Okay. Grounded up the middle. Henderson. I can't wait.
Well, I'm lucky, and my schedule gave me a couple of weeks off, so I was able to go to Europe.
Right.
Spent a couple of weeks in Europe and just got on that time, so I'm like up half the night now anyway. And then when you saw me coming in, that was my 2nd round of sleep.
Oh, really?
So I sleep till about midnight, get up, wander around the streets till 3 in the morning. And then I go back to bed.
Right.
Wake up about 8 and then get back up and go wander the streets again.
So there's a little of the old David,
yes,
and a new David.
Still in there somewhere.
I thought that you were coming up from the gym, but you straightened me out and said, no. I just went. I guess you went for coffee or something.
Yeah, I go down for coffee. We stay at a beautiful hotel here in the Four Seasons, and it's right on the harbor, so it's a nice walk, big boardwalk. Come a long way with the team hotels. We used to stay at 3-star hotels.
Not in the.
Remember when George put us in, when we were playing in Seattle? He quarantined us out at I think it was a old. It used to be a Hilton before they changed it. 1995.
It was way out in the middle of nowhere, so that no one would get in trouble.
That was a 2-star hotel.
Swing and a miss. Garcia down on strikes. Yankees go down in order. Strong 6 innings for Boz, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6. There's David. He was walking right there.
See the boardwalks right there. Yeah, he's strong, and he's hot, and he keeps it going.
That was his 17th home run of the year, 49th ribby. And he slugs against left-handed pitching for sure. That's the best in the majors, 726. Now he faces the righty De Los Santos, who pitched the scoreless 5th inning in relief of Rodon. 1-0. High fly ball, really up there. And Grisham says, I'll take that. Take a look at the Yankees bullpen budget, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Yesterday was an off day. Everybody got reset. Maybe they stay away from Hill because it would be 3 days out of 4. They like to avoid that if they could. But it's not a hard and fast rule, so everybody seems like they're up for an appearance today.
Good chance we'll see Fernando Cruz at some point.
There's Gunnar Henderson. There's a strike. Hedrick's up. You know, Meredith, I think we should update all of our viewers. You met up with Ken Singleton, the great Ken Singleton, yesterday. How's he doing?
I did. His voice is still amazing. He is in great shape, Michael. He's been golfing a lot, hanging out with the grandkids. He's so proud of his grandkids. It was awesome to see him.
And I know we always try to talk him into coming back. Did that work?
Don't think I didn't ask him, and he said, I miss you guys, but I don't necessarily miss preparing for the job anymore. But you know Kenny, he's still watching games. He told me a couple things about our coverage, and he's still dialed in, Michael.
Love that man. Miss him, too.
He did say to say hello to both you, David, and the rest of the YES crew.
You know, when you look at his numbers, right, he's a Hall of Fame player. He just is. Look at him. He had natural guns there. And switch hitter, on base percentage before on base percentage was cool. So his playing career, in addition to his great career as a broadcaster, why is he not in Cooperstown? They should be combined.
Contributions to the game. Completely agree.
Now, Michael, not in Cooperstown, but he was at a Hall of Fame induction the other day. He actually went to go see his cousin Doc Rivers get inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. He said he never felt so short around so many people. An awesome experience to have a lot of his family there and watch his cousin go in the Hall.
Runner-up to Don Baylor for the 79 American League MVP. Look at the career on base percentage. That's pretty awesome. And he's from Mount Vernon. 3rd overall pick by the Mets in 1967. And he sent me a picture from Springfield, the Basketball Hall of Fame. Took a picture with my great friend Mike Breen. That was when it's lined to center field. And that'll do it. And I said, in that one picture, 2 of the nicest people that ever existed. We miss you, Ken. Come back. Do a couple of innings. I love Bobby, too. We miss him. We'll go to the 7th. Now the Yankees return to Prime tomorrow to take on the Orioles. Don't miss a minute of Yankees coverage beginning at 6, only on Prime. Spencer Jones leads off the 7th inning. It's a 1-1 game, and swings and misses at the first offering from Shane Boz, who's looked really good after a really tough performance against Minnesota in his last start. We had lasted just 3 innings, gave up 9 hits. Jones fly ball to left and struck out looking. Josh Walker, one of the two left-handers the Orioles have in the bullpen, he's up. Boz at 95 pitches. Line, it's a base hit for Spencer Jones. Taveras will get the ball in. So Jones has 6 stolen bases. He's a threat to go.
Well, we've seen Boz throw that knuckle curve so well tonight. This is one he left out over the plate. One of the only ones.
And there's Walker. Walker and Grant Wolfram. Those are the two lefties in the bullpen for the O's. But they don't go to Walker with the left-hander Chisholm. As Boz has handled Chisholm 0 for 2. But Chisholm does have good numbers lifetime, 5 for 11 with a double and a home run against the Orioles right-hander. Encarnacion Strand in on the grass at third. Oh, strike. Down the right field line, hooking. Foul. Not much room in the corner, but he found it.
Another look down the line by that much. Yeah, a couple feet foul at least. That would have scored Spencer Jones. He was well on his way.
So 1 and 2 on Jazz. Lombard is on deck. Swing and a miss. Chisholm down on strikes for the second time tonight.
Could see right above the belt, ladder high, and right on by.
It's 10 strikeouts for Boz. He's at 101 pitches. 1-0 on Lombard.
He's been consistently ahead in the count all night long as Boz.
Seventh inning, each team with 3 hits, each team with a run. Each run has been scored via the home run. One by Mayo and one by Grisham. And that's going to be challenged by Narvaez.
Catcher is challenging the pitch.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And a good challenge by Narvaez. So the count 2-2. Orioles still have 1 challenge remaining. Yankees don't have any. Two balls, 2 strikes on Lombard. 1 man out. Jones on first. Grounded through for a base hit. Second base hit for Lombard. O'Neill comes up throwing, stopping Jones at second. So the rookie, George Lombard Jr., 2 for 3.
And both the hits that way, the other way. Ball's hit too hard for Jones to take a shot and go to third, and O'Neill throws fairly well.
So there's the manager, Greg Albernaz. Looks like he's going to take the ball from Boz. So the lefty swinging McMahon due up. They're going to go to the lefty. Yankees have some options on the bench. Caballero, Rosario, and Goldschmidt. We'll see if they go to one of those options. Great job by Boz. 1-1 game. First and second, 1 out. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees, and by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deal so right, they almost feel wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Boz out, left-hander Walker in, and they go to that guy. Paul Goldschmidt's going to pinch hit for Ryan McMahon. And Albernaz had to assume that that was going to happen. So he brings in the lefty specialist Walker. Just 16 innings, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks. "31 years old, Walker is. Last night, he came in for Yanier Cano with the bases loaded, nobody out. And he gave up the winning 2-run single to Johnny DeLuca of the Rays. So Goldschmidt against Walker. First and second, couple of rookies on the bases for the Yanks. A veteran at the plate. And a strike from Walker.
Yeah,
Goldschmidt, a .310 hitter against lefties this year.
Yeah, Walker not really overpowering. Sinker slider guy. Low 90s with his fastball.
One and one. And a strike, 1-2. So with the acquisition of Garcia and Ramos, playing time has been curtailed for Goldschmidt. Now a pinch hitter off the bench. Yet to take the bat off the shoulder, 2-2. Since July 30th, 2 for 21. Pinch hit on Sunday, was intentionally walked. Looking his way to a full count. And he works a walk. Never swung at a pitch, worked a walk. That loads the bases, and now 3 straight lefties coming up for the Yankees. Wells, Grisham, and Rice, but they're going to pinch hit for Wells and send up Rosario.
Yeah, we've seen this movie before. Back-to-back righty pinch hitters. Goldschmidt first, Rosario second. Nice couple of options to have off the bench.
And Drew French, the pitching coach, going to go out and talk with Walker. And again, I don't know if Goldschmidt's going to have to clean that uniform. He immediately gets pinch run for by Jose Caballero, and now he's given a little bit of a scattering point to Rosario. The one thing about all these moves, you want to have them pay off because you've essentially emptied your bench. Because in the bottom of the 7th inning, Sanchez takes over behind the plate, so that uses all 4 people on the bench in 1 inning, and it's almost imperative that you score.
Taking their shot right here.
Bases loaded. Orioles play back for the double play. They're in at the corners. The pinch hitter Rosario. There's a strike from Walker. In the last 16 games, the Yankees 152 with runners in scoring position. Did he go? No, he did not. And he did. They're 0 for 2 tonight with runners in scoring position. One and 2.
Well located changeup, down and away.
Swing and a miss. Chased upstairs. Rosario strikes out, 2 away.
We got to give Walker credit. He really did a job here on Rosario. And you see going right after him, strike 1. Get ahead. Down with the changeup. Check swing. Another good changeup back to back. And now we're going to go up the ladder. Great sequencing.
And a strike. So Grisham has accounted for the Yankees' only run with his home run. Now up with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 7th. And Walker quickly ahead of Grisham, 0-2. Crowd of 23,257 making some noise. That one just missed as Narvaez held it there, so Will Little could get a good look. And a good call by the ump. And again, just missed. 2-2.
Another slider just off.
2 real good takes by Grisham. Rice on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Line drive, base hit center field. Jones scores. Lombard scores. Moving to third is Caballero. It's a big 2-run single for Grisham. He's driven in the Yankees 3 runs tonight. They're up 3-1.
Well, you talk about a professional at bat. That's what Grisham just showed you. The great takes, to Michael's point, buys himself a fastball and does not miss it.
Yankee fans chanting "Let's go Yankees" and the Oriole fans booing them down. Here's Rice. Two 2-0. Rice 0 for 3. Yankees up by 2, 3-1. Caballero's at third. Grisham is at first. Two and 1. $11 ribbies last 8 games. He has been really hot following a cold spell. 2-1. And he gets plucked. And the bases are reloaded for Ramos.
You ever hear the expression "stick it in his ribs"? Yeah, that's an example of it right there.
So that'll bring up Ramos with a chance to give the Yankees some breathing room. We told you at the beginning of the game he has not had an RBI as a Yankee. They're out there right now for him. Two and 0, so Walker really struggling. He walks the pinch hitter Goldschmidt. Then he gets Rosario to strike out, so he's 1 out away from working out of it. Gets 2 quick strikes on Grisham, then 2 balls, and then a fastball that Grisham lined to center field for a 2-run single. And now he's hit Rice. 3-0, and there's no place to put Ramos.
Yeah, you put a star on that Grisham at bat. I mean, that was as good as it gets.
A strike on 3-0, so 3-1. And the pitch. 3-2. Well, you can start the merry-go-round. The runners will go. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and a 3-2 count on Elliot Ramos. Runners go. Swing and a miss. Ramos down on strikes. But the Yankees emptied their bench and went for it here in the 7th. And it paid off because of that pitch and that swing. A 2-run single for Grisham. He's driven in all 3 runs. Yankees up 3-1. Well, thank you guys. Let's check out tonight's Gusto game recap. 3-5-1 for the Yanks, 1-3-0 for the O's. Trent Grisham's had a night with 3 ribbies. Carlos Rodon off the IL pitched well over 4. Shane Baz pitched very well, 6 1/3 innings. Coming off a bad start. So the Yankees now go to high leverage. Brent Hedrick, good job by Yerry De Los Santos. He's on the winning side of the ledger. Taveras shows bunt. They say he did not go, so the count 1-0 against Hedrick. Bottom third of the order here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Again shows bunt and again takes 2-0. Caballero takes over at third base for McMahon. Sanchez takes over behind the plate for Wells. And that one is through for base hit. Just past the diving Caballero, just past the diving Lombard. He found a hole and gets a leadoff single.
Caballero thought he's going to get it. He's playing even with the bag. And that was the difference. If he's playing back, he would have had a much better shot at getting that.
And the 2 fake bunts made him come in a little bit.
Exactly.
There's Franklin. And a strike. One and 1 on Franklin. Fernando Cruz starting to heat up.
Does Fernando Cruz always just say "see you" every time he sees you?
Every time he sees me. Yep.
See ya.
Yep. Usually that's a greeting when people are leaving, but when he sees me for the first time, he'll say, "See you."
I noticed that today in the dugout.
One and two. So right now the pitchers of record are Yerry De Los Santos and Shane Baz. Had a watch as his two base runners scored on that single by Grisham. So he's the pitcher on the losing side, unless the Orioles rally. Still 1 and 2.
It's the life of a starting pitcher. And we mentioned with Baz, he hasn't had a lot of run support this year at all. He got it on both ends. He didn't get much run support, and his inherited runner scored. He got the double whammy. Pitched an excellent game tonight.
Still 1 and 2. Good take there by Franklin. 2 and 2. Bounce up there, blocked by Ali Sanchez, and the count is full. Franklin really battling. We saw an error by Jazz Chisholm in the second, and fly ball to center in the fourth.
Yeah, that fly ball to center was right to the 410 sign almost.
Righty and a lefty up for the O's. And that's good at bat for Franklin. And Hendrick gets himself into trouble with a single and a walk. First and second, nobody out. And that will bring out Matt Blake to talk with Hendrick. So Jeremiah Jackson is going to pinch hit for Carlos Narvaez. So Taveras at second, Franklin's at first. Those are tying runs as the Yankees lead 3-1, or should I say Grisham leads 3-1.
You get the lefty Jackson Holiday on deck, and then Pete Alonso, which will be Fernando Cruz's if it gets to that point.
Orioles, a team that bottomed out at 42-51, but they're 19-13 since July 9th. And they put themselves into a wild card spot. Pitch outside from Hendrick. The walk by Franklin, that was a 10-pitch walk. One and one. One and two. Swing and a miss, overpowered on 3 pitches. So the pinch hitter, Jackson, down on strikes. Big strikeout for Hendrick.
1-2-3 punch. This one a little bit up and in, but Challenge City. 3 in a row.
Holiday 0 for 3 tonight. And he lays off the slider. 1-0. Holiday, 22 years old, already his 3rd major league season. First overall pick in 2022 out of Stillwater High School. They expect great things out of a #1 pick, and he has not yet achieved that. He's had some injuries slow him down as well. 2-2. So Ethan Holiday, like Jackson, first-round draft picks, and both of the Lombard brothers, the rare brothers that are both first-round draft picks. Jacob and George. Pretty nice stories. Both come from baseball backgrounds.
Both have been around the game for a long time and had excellent fathers to teach them.
The 2-2. Another battle for Hedrick. Holiday missed the first 48 games of the year, including the first 2 Yankee series with a broken hamate bone in his right hand. 2-2. Now the Orioles face the Yankees at the end of the year at the stadium, the end of September. That could be a big series. Long look in by Hedrick. The 2-2. High fly ball left field. Ramos back. He'll put it away for out number 2. Runners stay put. And that's going to do it for Hedrick. As Alonso comes up with 2 outs, Boone's going to go to the right-hander. I think David said it on Sunday. Sometimes it looks like Ramos is on skates out there. But he kept his balance and made the play for out number 2. So that'll do it for Hedrick. First and second, 2 outs. Alonso coming up. And he's going to face Fernando Cruz. Yankees have a 2-run lead. Well, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 21st, when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. First 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Cody Bellinger bobblehead, courtesy of T-Mobile. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Those guys look like they're ready to get in the game. Right now, Aaron Boone trusting the game to this guy, Fernando Cruz. Cruz against Alonso. Big spot in this game, bottom of the 7th inning. Yankees up by 2, 3-1. Check swing, does not go. (2-0). And you have O'Neill on deck. Line into right field, coming on Jones, and he makes the play. So the Orioles get the first 2 runners of the inning on, and those runners stay put. We go to the 8th. Well, fans, the next game on Yes is Thursday as the Yankees and the Orioles wrap up this 3-game set right here in Baltimore. Extended coverage starts at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 6:35 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Albert Suarez will take over. On the Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees lead 3-1 top of the 8th inning. Luis Garcia Jr. leads off. Swings at the first pitch and lofts it to center field. Taveras hardly had to move. 1 pitch, 1 out. I've said that a lot today. A lot of people jumping on the first pitch. Joel Pozo takes over. Replacing Narvaez. Here's Spencer Jones, who started that 7th inning with a single and came around to score. That was the 2nd run for the Yanks. And a strike.
Now Jones, Lombard, and Grisham really at the center of things. Blackburn getting hot.
Three and one. Suarez rocks and deals. Belted straight back. Suarez this year has been on the minor league deal, call-up DFA carousel, and he's handled it very, very well. 36 years old, 5th big league season. A battle by Spencer Jones. Albert's younger brother is the Braves reliever Robert Suarez. Led the National League with 40 saves last year in San Diego. Then signed a 3-year deal with Atlanta. And he gets punched out. And the Yankees don't have an option to challenge. They're out of those since the 4th inning. So Jones down looking. Looks like it was a strike anyway.
Catcher's kind of setting up away and had to reach, so it made it look worse than it was, but clipped the inside corner.
Jazz with a fly ball to left. And that'll do it. The Yankees go down in order against Albert Suarez. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Justin Shackle, Jack Curry, and Willie Randolph are back in the studio with highlights and analysis. Meredith Morakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse, and we're going to hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Right now, there's the hero, and that is Trent Grisham with the home run and the 2-run single in the 7th. And on the Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees up 3-1. And Paul Blackburn has now risen to 8th inning high leverage. As Aaron Boone really trusts him. He got that one out from Cruz and said, okay, I'm turning it over to Blackburn. Dylan Beavers pinch hit for O'Neill. 0-1. Blackburn was kind of picked up off the scrap heap last year. And the Yankees started to tweak his repertoire, told him what he had to work on, and then he liked what they said, and when he became a free agent, he wanted to come back here. And he did, and the Yankees are certainly happy about that. Been a revelation in the bullpen.
Well, he's got a starter's repertoire. You know, he's mixing it. We've already seen, you know, sinkers and changeups and curveballs, but he's throwing them all for strikes, and he picked up a couple of notches on his velo too. So the movement profile is improved, the velo's improved, and then the mix is excellent.
Swing and a miss. So the pinch hitter Beavers down on strikes.
Pulls the string.
You just never know when you're following a team who's going to emerge, who's going to be really, really important. I don't think Hedrick thought that he was going to be at this level, and Blackburn for sure, but here they are pitching big innings, high leverage innings, and close games that the Yankees really want to win. Again, the Yankees look out at the scoreboard and see that Toronto's up 10-3 over Tampa Bay. So if that score holds and the Yankees hold here, all of a sudden it's 5 in the loss column. And remember, the Yankees in September, at the end of September, have 4 games at the stadium against Tampa Bay. Two and one. And a strike, and that's going to be challenged by Mayo. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if Mayo's right. And he's right. That's ball 4. Gunnar Henderson fouls it off.
Gunnar Henderson's been the key in their lineup really since he's gotten here, and slow start this year, but starting to heat up as of late. It's still 20 homers.
Chased away on that change, which is such an effective pitch, and 0-2. Henderson, a player with such terrific skills, it's kind of odd seeing him hit 222. Served into center field, coming on Grisham. He's there to make the play as Mayo gets back. And here's Christian Encarnacion Strand. One and one on Encarnacion Strand. Andrew Kittredge is up. It's off the facing of the third deck and back into the lower stands. Swing and a miss. Chased a cutter outside. And that'll do it. 2 strikeouts for Blackburn. We go to the 9th. Time to name that Yankee, everybody. Those are the clues. A really, really fine backup catcher. Big part of Oriole history. It's Elrod Hendricks.
Great man. Beloved by everybody, both sides. You always would talk. Go by the bullpen as a coach.
Had some power. Ellie Hendricks.
He had such a great personality. Everybody loved talking to him.
Longtime coach here with the Orioles, too.
Yes.
That was Ellie to Ellie there. Elrod to Elston. George Lombard Jr. leads off the 9th inning. He's 2 for 3. Takes a strike. 1970 World Series at the O's. Had a great series. Traded to the Yankees. 10-player deal. And he was the Orioles bullpen coach forever.
He was funny. He was a funny guy.
Chopped slowly to third. Encarnacion Strand gets Lombard Jr. Dylan Beaver stays in the game. He pinch hit for O'Neill, so he's on right. And here's Caballero. He pinch ran for Goldschmidt after Goldschmidt walked, pinch hitting for McMahon, and the Yankees 2-run 7th inning. And a strike. One and two. You want to look ahead to the 9th inning. Bottom of the 9th of the Orioles. It's the bottom third of their order. Likely against Bednar. 3-1 Yankees lead. Strike 3. Caballero down looking, and he looks back at Will Little. And that's the danger of not having challenges. That was a ball. And when you don't have a challenge, that gives the umpire some breathing room and latitude to make calls like that. Sanchez takes a strike. You have no recourse. I think Sanchez might have thought that was outside.
Yes, it was kind of the same pitch as before, or close.
Grounded, shortstop, backhanded by Henderson, sets and fires. And the throw pulls Mayo off the bag, but he tags Sanchez on the way by. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Bednar will try to close it out. Well, tonight on a special new episode of The Stadium, get the dramatic inside story of how an unprecedented 3-night run of Jay-Z concerts followed the blueprint to produce one of the most epic experiences in stadium history. Premieres tonight after Yankees coverage on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. I highly recommend sticking around. You got to see the show. Our Yes cameras are on the inside. Captured some really incredible footage that showed how the security and operations teams kept fans safe and sound. A much watch. That's after a must-watch post-game show as well. So David Bednar had a 17-straight string of consecutive saves snapped on Sunday through no fault of his own. It was an unearned run that scored in the 9th inning because of the Ben Rice error. but the Yankees did win in the 10th. So he's trying to close this one out here. Take the first game of this 3-game set. Leody Taveras will lead off against Bednar. Strike. Rodon started off the IL 4 innings. And Taveras going to challenge, ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And that's it. Both teams are out of challenges. De Los Santos came in after Rodon. 2 innings. Hedrick, Cruz, Blackburn, and now Bednar. Oh, 2. Colton Cowser has come out on deck to pinch hit for Christian Franklin. Swing and a miss. Got him on the splitter. 1 away.
Well, Bednar has been solid as a rock. And that particular splitter right there, that's his A game. Bottom drops out of it.
So here's Cowser for Franklin, who was 0 for 2 with a walk. Oh, 1. Oh, 2. Well, the splitter is working for Bednar. Pozo on deck. Foul back.
95 miles an hour in the 4-seamer up. His splitter's 91, 92, just to show you the devastating splitter. It looks just like a fastball.
Well, he's got to work it. Yankees 1 out away from winning the first game.
So that's why we call this a split-fingered fastball, not a forkball. It retains the velocity, but the movement is devastating and late.
So here's Pozo. Narvaez started. Got pinch hit for in the 7th by Jeremiah Jackson, who struck out. Pozo came in, the backup catcher, and now he grounds one to second base. This should do it. Chisholm to first. And the Yankees win 3-1. A nice return for Carlos Rodon. An even better night for that guy who's been red hot. Trent Grisham drives in all 3 runs. And the Yankees now 2-2 in the first 4 games of this road trip.
And the bullpen coming through after Rodon with 5 scoreless innings, including Bednar's dominant 9th right there. So, yes, Yankees scored 3. They only gave up 1.
Bednar very efficient, very economical, an 8-pitch 1-2-3 9th inning for the Yankee closer. So the Yankees win. They make it work. Another close game, tied in the 7th inning, and they come up with the runs to win it. They've certainly learned how to deal with these nail biters, because that's all they've been singing. The last 17 games, they're now 9-8, and they've gotten great pitching in every single one.